It was just my son's 5th birthday party, and he wanted a Minecraft birthday party. Jordan, look at this cake that Kelly made.
I was at this birthday party, so I did see this cake. But yeah, I mean, it just looked exactly like a Minecraft block. I asked Kelly how she did the icing on top to make it look like that, and she just piped it all out.
Yeah, she sat there for an hour and just piped it perfectly. It was delicious cake.
Look, it just looks just like the picture.
I know. Good job,
Kelly.
Kelly.
It was layered and everything.
It was a banana cake. It tasted like chocolate cake and banana bread at the same time.
Very good. Welcome everyone to the Blimey Cow podcast. Every Friday we make the world a little less messy on this YouTube channel. My name is Jordan.
And I'm Josh, hoping that you will join us for BlimeyCon 2024 happening September 20th to the 22nd here in Nashville. We're gonna basically do summer camp and prices go up July 1st.
Yes.
So if you want to join us, please sign up now, blimeycow.com/BlimeyCon 2024.
Live video recordings, games, tons of activities. Yeah, BlimeyCon 2024.
Okay. And the ticket prices go up July 1st. We'd love to see you there. We've had a lot of signups, and we want some more.
We want more.
Come hang out. If you want a free Blimey Cow t-shirt, then head over to supportblimeycow.com. When you join, you get a free Blimey Cow shirt as our way of saying thank you. You also get exclusive video content like bonus segments of the podcast, bonus messages. So head over to supportblimeycow.com today to join the best community on the internet where you can play Community Survivor.
That was a very fun thing. Met a lot of great friends doing that. But thanks so much to Cassidy Beals and Savannah Williams for joining this week. Maybe you'll play Survivor with us.
That would be awesome. I think the next game is starting in a couple of weeks.
I can't do it, Josh.
You're done?
No, I got to take a break.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
Don't forget to check out the Clips channel, everything you love about the podcast, but without this pesky time commitment. New clips uploaded almost every day.
Depending on if we're having a birthday party that weekend.
Yeah, it does depend on that. YouTube.com/@BlimeyCowClips.
All right, let's get to the top stories. Here we go.
I found that it's more fun and more exciting doing the podcast on its own channel.
I know.
Do you agree?
It's thrilling is what it is.
You see the potential.
Yeah. So we posted the first episode of the podcast on this channel. Here we are now. Truthfully, I expected it would maybe get like 300 views.
Really?
Yeah. I had very little expectation. But it ended up, I mean, I don't know what it's going to be at by the time this goes up, but it's over 1,000 views now, and we're under, as of the recording of this, we're under 1,000 subscribers. So it's actually got more views than subscribers. That's a world I don't know anymore.
Right. That's something that we like to see. So, we did all this hoping that, maybe the YouTube algorithm would find out, oh, okay, the people who watch this channel like long form kind of stuff.
Yeah.
With like Christian slant.
Yeah.
Maybe the algorithm can help us squirm our way into people's lives.
Instead of doing like an hour-long show on an existing channel that's existed for
a million years.
20 million. Almost 20 years.
20 million.
Almost 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah. And has done 1,000 different formats, most of them 5 minutes. For the most of our
existence, 5-minute videos.
5-minute videos. I mean, when I go back and watch those Old Messy Monday videos, some of them are like 3 minutes. And I'm like,
3 minutes of playtime.
I guess we were just kids, and we're more adept now. But I remember like really just like stressing over
the script,
making Messy Mondays. It's like, for a 3-minute video, I could write a 3-minute video in my sleep. You just tell me to write 3 minutes of jokes. I could write 3 minutes of jokes.
Exactly.
I just got tired of doing it.
Yeah. I mean, you've been doing it for 10 years. I mean, geez. Yeah. So this is it's interesting. I found it was fun to go and read the comments and see the interaction. Be like, wow, these are all people who are just here for this specific show.
And everybody was very polite. They were like commenting for the algorithm.
Yeah, do that again. That was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
It really helped, I think.
I was replying to them all, just saying like replying for engagement. I'm supposed to comment back.
That's what they tell us.
So that I get more comments later.
Yeah, that's what everybody does on Instagram. It's hilarious.
Oh man. Well, so it's going well. We're very encouraged. So we'll see how this episode 2 goes. And you know what? we just love doing the show. So who cares? But it's also nice. The fact that it has more views than the number of subscribers means that YouTube was recommending it.
I would think so.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Why would somebody have? Because it was hard to find the show. So why would you have seeked out the channel, not subscribed, but watched the video?
Or if people saw the video that we said to go from the Blind Me Cow channel to go to that, maybe they saw it.
They might have just clicked it and just said,
well,
"Oh, this is dumb."
So now we're stressed out.
So we'll just see what happens this time. Oh, and happy Father's Day. First Father's Day to my brother.
Oh, yeah. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, everybody. Are you?
It just doesn't feel real yet, Josh.
I
I'm
know.
gonna be honest with you. So,
This is your last Father's Day before he's out here.
This is the last Father's
in the wild.
Day. Yeah, it's funny. Next year, the Father's Day, he'll be almost a year old.
I know.
So how often does that happen?
Not
because he's going to be
super
born
often.
so close to Father's Day.
Jordan, okay, you know how big Shiloh is now?
Yeah, I do.
He's going to be bigger than that by next Father's Day.
Wait, how old is he?
He's like 9 months old.
Oh, wow.
He'll be 9. No,
Really?
sorry, he'll be 10. He'll be 10 months in a couple weeks.
Wow, that's weird. He's so engaging.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
He's standing up. I mean, he's like coasting along things. He's starting to babble.
Yeah, we'll be reading Lord of the Rings to him.
That's right.
Day one.
I've been watching the extended edition. That's weird that you even brought up Lord of the Rings.
Probably because I mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
Subconsciously, that's why you did.
Wow. No,
I mentioned it because I was working downstairs and I've been having that on.
Oh,
So
maybe
then I
that is
said
why I pulled it up.
Yeah, I think that
well,
was
I just saw
subconscious.
Max had the extended editions, and I've never actually watched it, so I was watching the extended edition. I've seen parts of it. I haven't ever sat down and watched
Like
the whole thing.
the green and the red.
Yes.
And
The 4-hour one. It's 4 hours.
3 hours.
No, it's 4 hours.
Wait.
The theater cut is 3 hours.
No, but the green one, like the green that every middle class family
Big
owned.
thick one.
Yeah, the green thick one for the Fellowship of the Ring.
Yes, that one is 4 hours long.
I just that was it?
Yeah.
I remember it like I was done with it and it seemed like it was.
Did you watch the extended or the theatrical cut?
Oh, it was I didn't realize there was an option. I thought it was just. Is there an option on that? DVD?
I don't know. I think it's just the extended edition, but if it was 3 hours, it was the theater cut.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Time to go back. I didn't see anything I hadn't seen.
I'm going to be honest. After having watched the theatrical cut so many times, the extended version, the pacing is off.
Well,
It's
they're
like,
kind of shoving stuff in places where it's not
yeah,
supposed
it's
to
like,
go.
hey, this was in the book too. This was in the book too. And it's like, yeah, but that doesn't make the pacing of the movie any better.
Maybe they were trying to do that to make his kids happy. Because they were like peed off by the movie. Because they were like, this isn't anything like
Yeah.
it.
All right, we'll do a 4 hour. It's still fun to
Should
watch.
be.
It's still fun to watch.
I can't believe I didn't. What scenes are we talking about that were in there that I'm. Like, name a scene. Was there a fight scene or was there like some dialogue?
No, well, not so far, but like, like when they're still in the Shire, Bilbo is like trying to avoid certain cousins of his, and you don't see that in the theatrical edition. It's just like little random things. Or maybe like, I don't know, like they'll stop at a campsite and they'll have an extra conversation before they move on to the next place. Just little things.
I'm going to pull that up and see if I actually watched that.
Okay. Anyways, that's a good idea for Father's Day. Watch Lord of the Rings. Well, happy Father's Day, everybody. Jordan's a dad, in case you missed that. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. Oh, it's not a long one, thank God. I'm almost 19 and have been dating my boyfriend for a couple months, and I'm wondering how to keep our relationship growing while we're still newly dating, but not mere acquaintances anymore. How do I discern if we're meant to get married when we're still young and we'll probably date for a long time? What should be the next step for us since we're comfortable with each other and going on dates, but I still feel like we're kind of stiff and timid little homeschoolers? Gina. How does she decide if he's the one?
Yeah.
And how do they become normal instead of animatronic? It's impossible, I think, to not be animatronic when you're 19 and you're like interested in somebody.
Yeah.
I only had one friend that I wasn't animatronic. Even it wasn't even something that I liked. There was one girl that I was animatronic with.
Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't animatronic with
Not
her at all.
animatronic?
Not animatronic at all. But then if you had a girl that you liked, you all of a sudden you're a different human being, and you're like every
right.
action is like I'm trying to be normal, and it's weird. But she was pretty much the only person that I could be normal with. Like for until Sarah, literally. Probably. Like somebody that I was interested in. Sarah was the first person I was interested in, but like was normal. And that was like, how old was I then? I was 19.
I think it's helpful when you find a girl that can kind of act as like a really good friend or best friend role. That it's it's never going to work out or anything, and then that kind of prepares you to like act normal with whoever you're actually going to end up with.
Like talking on the phone. Like, Anna was the only girl I could talk to on the phone with and like not be nervous. So that was helpful.
Well, but speaking of that, this is kind of what I was thinking. This was going to be my advice: is just to spend time with each other's families.
Sure.
That's a good way, because Anna was always over at our house. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's why we all felt so comfortable. And anybody I was close with, it was people that spent a lot of time with our family, or I went and spent a lot of time with their family. And truthfully, that was a lot of why. Because Kelly and I had like a long. I liked her, then she liked me. It just the timing was never right. It was a real Jim and Pam situation. But I remember that I think at some point she finally realized, you know what? If I'm ever going to convince Josh to give me another chance here, I just need to go spend time with his family. And that's what she did. She just came over all the time. But I think that really is the most. If you've got a good relationship with your family, I think that that's probably the best advice, is just have them come over and hang out with your family.
And then you don't have to worry about like what you're doing, because you're just doing whatever everybody else
just hanging out.
It's just normal.
And
honestly, if that goes well, you might get married sooner than you think.
That's right.
And if you don't do that, it might get messy, and you might date longer than you think.
Getting in good with his family and getting him acquainted with your family. Any other tips or advice for a 19-year-old?
No, just don't be stressed out that things are animatronic, because they just are supposed to be that way for some reason. And you'll get over it.
It gets easier.
Get over it.
It gets easier.
That was a short and sweet answer. I feel like that's the only answer us as growing up as homeschoolers. That's the best we can do.
We saved Gina's life, and now it's time for some good news, bad news. Jordan, have you heard about video games lately where you have to keep an internet connection to play them?
I thought that was like every video game. Halo?
Not until recently. Oh, no, sure. If you want to play online, if you want to play multiplayer, but now I'm talking about like single player, where you have to keep a connection to the internet to play a single player game.
I thought that, like, because they're always trying to update stuff. I don't get on stuff often.
Okay.
But then I'm like, I just assumed.
I'm talking not like, hey, you might need to download an update, but like literally like, hey, if your Wi-Fi goes off, the game shuts down.
Oh, that's weird.
Why would you need to do that?
I don't know.
Well,
you tell me.
According to the creators of Call of Duty Black Ops 6, the single-player campaign requires a constant internet connection even on consoles. Their reasoning is because there's some kind of like textures that they need to stream, like to get the best quality for the game. You have to be streaming constantly, and even then the game is like a 300 gigabyte download.
Oh my word.
On top of like these streamed textures. But people are speculating, Jordan, that it might maybe just possibly have something to do with like in-game ads. Like as you're going through like a desolate city, maybe there's a Coke poster in a city that you're going through.
Or like it might be specific for you because you looked at something on Instagram.
Exactly.
Or Googled something.
Exactly. Or maybe weird. They have a campaign with like a different company one week, and so they can have different posters on this. So they can always be advertising new things.
Okay. Well, that's weird, but that seems like Rocket League.
Yeah.
Rocket League is like that. They've got like ads on this stuff. But I never thought about that being specific for me. That's where it gets weird. Or like we could be playing a game and you might be getting a different ad than I am, but then what would it show during the replay? I don't know.
Maybe
the replay is manipulated, so I'm seeing my replay and you're seeing your replay.
Yeah.
I only play games like
I was
that,
gonna,
so
yeah.
this
I'm
isn't
realizing. I'm realizing. No, I brought this up thinking this would annoy you, but I'm like, no. You know what? Any game Jordan plays is this kind of game. Well, it would be like if you just recently played The Witness. What if you had to have an internet connection for like a puzzle game?
Yeah, that would be weird.
Oh, we gotta make the textures look nice, so we gotta stay connected to the internet. Versus just giving you the option. Hey, I'll take
stupid texture off.
the crappy textures. They don't have to look as good. Just don't.
That's not even an option.
No.
Oh, that's funny.
No, but it's just funny that they're saying, well, we got to stream the better quality stuff, and it's like, no, you're gonna sell us something.
So has this come out yet? Like
no, they just announced it. I guess it's coming as it's. So I never played Call of Duty. I've played it a few times growing up, but we were more Halo people growing up.
I think that Halo was kind of our generation, and then
Call of Duty was like if you were like 3 years younger than us. Yeah.
That's what it
Everybody
seems like.
played Call of Duty. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like we're kind of at an inflection point with these AAA studios that are making these like the big expensive games where it just takes such huge teams to build these games that even $70 for a game doesn't make it worth it. They've got to sell advertising too, and they've got to do microtransactions like, oh, you can buy a skin for your character or a new gun or whatever. So they're just adding all this stuff in. But I think that
why don't they just make the game cost more? I mean, who's
I
not
think they're afraid to do that.
Who's not going to pay $100 for the new Call of Duty game when they are obsessed with it? I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's what people always say. They're like, you might spend $20 on a movie to go see a movie that's like 2 hours, or you'll spend 100 hours, 200 hours playing like a multiplayer game
for $100. I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. If I knew, here's the deal. If I knew that a game was gonna be something that I truly loved for years to come, it does $100. I don't want to spend that much, but if I know it's good, but yeah, I wouldn't spend $70 on everything. I just wait for things to go on sale. If I buy them, I mean, truthfully, I don't buy these kind of games.
No, but I mean, like, yeah, for games, for a Call of Duty or like a Halo type game, that people, I feel like they could get away with $100.
Right, like hey, this is like our marquee game for the next 10 years. It's a new Halo game. Yeah, but Call of Duty comes out every year. They put out a new Call of Duty game every year. Okay. There's like 2 studios. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's 2 studios, and each one puts out one every other year. So there's this year it's this team. Next year it's team 2, then team 1, then team 2. Put it out every year.
Wow.
Call of Duty. It's like Madden.
Yeah, that is what it seems like. What a great game. What a great game.
Oh man, I don't know. It's just video games are getting. It's like just as this stuff is starting to collapse a little bit, and a lot of these big studios, even the successful ones, are having to lay off a bunch of people. The indie game renaissance, where it's just like 1 or 2 guys building a game, like Stardew Valley or something, where it's one guy. Those have really taken off.
It'll be interesting to see in 5 years what happens,
I agree with that.
And we'll talk about it later, but your favorite game, Slay the Spire, I played for the first time, and that was just a couple guys who made it, right?
Mm-hmm. I can't wait to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to conspiracy theories.
Oh, no. So I was trying to figure out what conspiracy theory that I've been thinking about recently, and I realized that there's one that has been void from my mind, and it shocked me. I was like, you know what, my prediction of Michelle Obama going to run for president is seeming less and less likely.
Last time we talked about it, that's what I was saying to you, and you were getting a little frustrated with me on the podcast.
Yeah,
you were like, "What do you mean? You don't think this is going to happen?"
No,
I was like,
he doesn't.
Because I said the more days that go by with nothing, the less likely this gets, and you were like, "No, the more likely it gets."
So I'm going to stand by that. The more likely it gets, Josh, it only makes sense.
You said because you thought something was going to happen, so the longer it's quiet, the more likely it is. That Taylor Swift. That was the prediction, right?
Taylor Swift, where's she gone? Taylor Swift's gone, Josh
She just put out her CD.
Okay.
Troubled Poet Society or whatever the heck it's called.
No, it's not called that, is it? Troubled Poets Society?
Hold on, I'll look it up.
No.
The Tortured Poets Department.
No.
That's the name of the CD.
Who in their right mind okayed that? Is the dumbest name I have ever heard objectively. And that's not even because I'm bitter at her at this point. That's the dumbest name I've ever heard in my life, Josh. God.
Your theory was that she was going to usher in Michelle Obama to replace Biden as the presidential nominee.
Yeah. People have said this. This isn't just, I'm not just coming up with this.
Yeah.
But, and it rang true. But what the heck? Where's it going? So now I'm like, okay, is it just...
To be fair, I think that you started saying it. I think there maybe had been some others talking about it a little bit, but you were definitely saying it before it became a meme. Like, I remember you saying it before there started being those articles like, now the conspiracy theorists are saying Taylor Swift is going to do blah, 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 blah. And I was like, we just talked about that on the podcast.
I think all the people who kind of think this way, for some reason, Michelle Obama was just in the ether, and then Taylor Swift was too. So, like, people are saying stuff, making the connection. So I don't know. Taylor Swift's. This prediction's not going to happen now because Taylor Swift's gone. Michelle Obama is. I don't know where she is. And so now, what do we have?
What, are they gonna? Do you think? Are they just gonna?
I don't know.
Run
Maybe there's not going to be an election.
Joe?
I don't know because now he's in France for D-Day, and he can't. He's finding his seat, and there's no seat. And then all of a sudden, Jill is pulling him off the stage, and then the president of France is like looking frantic.
Yeah,
he doesn't know what the heck's going on.
Yeah,
he's trying to greet people, and Biden's gone.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
So he's not looking.
He doesn't look good.
No, it was amazing what I witnessed on that.
It's a little nerve-wracking. I mean, in a way, it gives me hope because it's like, hey, we can have a guy who's barely alive as the president, and it seems like life just continues to go on.
Right, it's both.
It's not like we're getting attacked immediately.
Right, but maybe that's the reason why life has gone down so much, so slowly, because there's not one person who has like this power.
Oh.
Right? Now it's just like all these random people that nobody knows, and so it's like
the
hey,
managerial
look.
state.
Yeah, now it's like, hey, look, nothing's happening.
Uh-huh.
Wait, but it has been happening for 60 years, and so they just have a plan and it just continues. We can't. It doesn't matter who's in.
Right. That's true.
That's the realization.
That's sad. That is sad. Yeah.
I want a strongman somebody in. I don't even care if he's a good guy or a bad guy. At least we know what's going on. Sleepy Joe, he's gone. And the whole dark plan keeps going on. It seemed like Trump was, and then the whole dark plan kept going on. The country is shut down. Like the economy, we're printing hundreds of billions, trillions.
Whoever's in the background, they're
just pulling the strings.
The deep state.
I'm so sick of hearing the deep state, but it's like,
what else do you call
it? But then we've got, so anyways,
meanwhile, we're here on the Tortured Poets Department Wikipedia. Okay, Jordan's gone back to
now I've gone back to our Google Docs so I can see what we were doing. So that freaks me out, that life is going as normal. They don't care. They don't need Michelle Obama because they're like, it doesn't matter if we have, if it's Ron DeSantis, if it's Trump, it doesn't matter. So then that freaked me out because I was like, wow, the deep state is real, Josh. But then I was like, but then I listened to this, what's his name? Thomas Massey.
Oh, okay.
He just talked to Tucker Carlson and then seemingly said the reverse of what I just said.
What did he say?
This is in the It Gave Me Hope section, so let's just switch to that.
Okay.
Okay, so Thomas Massey.
Here we are, and It Gave Me Hope.
We're here.
Hi.
Thomas Massey was saying to Tucker Carlson that people don't. He'd interviewed him, and he was like, "There's not like." It always goes back, Josh, to walking in the store without a mask on. It really does.
Hey. You can't keep talking about going to the grocery store. People in the comments, at least on the Blind account, were like, these guys seem like they're just really judgmental of people in the grocery store. I don't think they're making the grocery store a better place.
I love the grocery store. I love the people there. I talk to everybody at the grocery store.
Okay.
I'm sorry if it makes you mad. See, they're the one.
Somebody commented, it was just like, I don't think these guys are making the grocery store a better place. They seem very judgmental.
Well, I could say something, but I won't. So anyways, Thomas Massey was talking about how it's not like they have the theys have stuff on people. Like we think they've got to have their laptops. They've got to be spying on them to know all this stuff. He's like, it's not.
You think they have dirty details on all the politicians, and that's why the politicians just do what they're told?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that's just like that. That's just obvious. That's in the back of people's minds. It's like you vote somebody in, they do the exact opposite of what they're going to say that they do.
Yeah.
So what?
Well, Jordan,
do they have their children?
They haven't gotten the intelligence briefings. Okay?
That's right.
We can't. Our normie brains can't even fathom.
Right.
The depths of the genius.
Well, the
of our
interesting
government
thing
officials
was
once
that,
they get elected.
Well, Massey was saying, he was like, I've been to these and they don't really say anything. They just show you New York Times like articles and stuff. he was saying they're not really showing you much like on the. It was really weird, and he was saying it's not that.
So why do they do it? Why do
Because they want to be popular, Josh. They vote they vote with like the uniparty because you're away from your family in D.C. You're traveling there. You might live in Kentucky. You travel to Washington, D.C. You live in Nevada. You travel to Washington, D.C. And you're there for quite a while. And then you're away from your family and all this stuff. And then, he's like, you want to just be able to live a normal life when you're there and kind of maybe have some friends and like eat lunch with people and be liked, because politicians, all they care about is being liked. So they're away from their audience, and now they're just with all these weirdos in DC, and there's a whole weird culture there.
Yeah.
And so you just go along with whatever everybody's doing, because it's like, oh, I guess this is what all the cool people are doing. It's like you're in college, it's like you're in middle school.
So is there a deep state doing it, or is it just a cool kids table?
That's what
deep state cool kids table.
I don't know. But I'm just confused.
But it gives you hope?
Yeah, it gives me hope that it seemed, when he was talking, it just seemed so simple. It was like, no, it's not. It's just that like people just don't stand up. They just don't just do the right thing. And so this just happened. It's not that. And I was like, Massey, maybe you're just like the one innocent person in Congress, and so they just don't
so
talk
naive,
to you.
so pure.
Yeah, they're just like, leave him alone. He doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it
could be.
It both gave me hope and confused me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, maybe it's not as bad as I think, and it's literally just as simple as just being like, no, I don't think that we should shut down the country. I think we should all just say no. So maybe the deep state is scary if you want to be cool. And maybe they're not scary if you don't care if you're cool or not, and you just want to do the right thing. Maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know.
I really don't know. I don't know what I believe. It's like no matter what I decide about it or what I think about it, I end up seeing evidence that I would have to contort to fit that worldview. It's like, well, they can't be that competent because this stuff is happening. Mm-hmm. Or maybe they're just straight evil because this stuff is happening.
Or maybe there's just a few really super crazy evil people, and they know this very specific people that kind of influence a lot more, and so they have stuff on those people, and then those people are like the cool people, and then they kind of influence the rest of them. I don't know.
Like high school. Bunch of nerds.
Well, I mean, in college, there's all the fraternities and stuff,
That's
and
right.
they do bad stuff. They get some weird, like cultish, evil stuff sometimes.
I know,
so I don't know. Maybe they just continued. They just continue into that realm.
All right. So any predictions about?
No, I don't think it matters. I think it's so far gone that they're like, it doesn't matter. We don't care if it's Michelle or if it's Biden.
There was some vote somewhat recently. I wish I could remember what it was. It was some sort of like foreign aid military funding, and I think that the Republicans had said we're not voting for that unless something else, blah blah blah. I don't know. But then they just miraculously got exactly the number of votes they needed to pass it, like the exact number.
Oh, geez.
Of Republican. And at that point, I was like, none of this is real. None of this matters. You're right. It's just like a uniparty. That doesn't give me hope. I mean, maybe it gives me hope that it's becoming so transparent. That does give me hope. Yeah,
that's the only thing that does give you hope. Yeah.
I hate you all.
So I had this post on Instagram go viral.
Yeah.
It got 1 million views. It's almost at 1.1 million. It was an Alex Jones. It was funny, but it was also like it's supposed to be kind of inspirational, but it's just funny because it's just a hilarious Alex Jones rant.
Yeah.
And so it got shared around by a lot of UFC fighters. Like I think one of a former world UFC champion liked the post.
Wow.
And so then I think they were all spreading it around their little
On their Slack channel.
or whatever they've got. So that got spread around. But as I was watching, this was over the course of a week that this happened. And when I watched it, I was like, what does this really mean? All these views. Because it's not like what it used to mean in my mind. Now a view like 10 years ago meant more. It wasn't just an impression. It was a choice that you made. Now this video could have just popped up and a video seemed like it did impact people in a way. But still, when it's on Instagram or if it's like on Facebook, what is it really like? People are just swiping and seeing a video pop up and then swiping away, and you can see how long the video duration was that people like stayed for, and it was a lot more than you would think, like over half of the video. So that was interesting, but as I was like pondering all this, my brain went back to a guy that I saw when I was in downtown Nashville. I was eating, and there was some glass, like literally the guy was as close as I am to you, maybe a little further away.
Yeah.
And so we could both see each other, but it was this weird thing where we didn't feel like we were literally sitting 2 feet from each other because there was glass in front of him.
Yeah.
So he pulls out his phone and his friends get up and leave, and he pulls out his phone and he's just on Instagram. And he's younger than me. So I was like, I just want to know, like, how does he interact with Instagram? Because I interact with it like an old person would interact with Instagram. You know, I don't go to the reels and just like start swiping. I'm just like see what my friends are doing on there, and then I just whatever. But he just went to like the reels section, and he just like,
because when you go to the reels, that's literally just what they're recommending to you, right?
That's what they're recommending.
Like TikTok.
Yeah, he was just swiping. I mean, like the pace that he was like perceiving everything and sending things off was just, it was truly amazing. Like he was just swipe, heart, swipe. One time he watched something for literally 2 seconds, and then in the blink of an eye, he clicked share, thought of a very specific person, shared it, typed in their name, sent it off, and didn't even finish the video, and just kept swiping. Like, and it was like the most incredible thing I had ever seen.
Wow.
I was like, this is how people interact with, and it's not even like, I mean, I think that it's bad, but it's not even like it's just the way that it is.
Yeah.
And maybe like I couldn't perceive something impact me that fast. But maybe stuff that he's watching is impacting him in a different way because he's younger than me. He's been on this stuff for so much longer. I mean, I don't know how he could have possibly watched that video for 1 second and thought of a person and sent it to them.
Yeah.
And not even finished it. And I don't know. It just blew my mind.
So when you have a video that goes viral, you think that most of those views are just
it's just
people
feeding the machine
doing what and they just never think about it again?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I think that's my deep thought is I don't know if he thinks about these again, because I think my brain just works so much differently than his because I didn't grow up with Instagram or anything like that. So maybe he's able to maybe his brain literally is wired differently to be impacted differently, and I just can't perceive that, and that's just what it feels like to be an older generation, and and you feel like you're right, and you feel like they're wrong.
Right.
The same way that our parents felt like, why should you guys be playing so many video games?
Right.
And it's like, well, you're wrong.
Slippery
You're right though, but are you wrong? Yeah. It's an interesting. That was very interesting to me, but I don't know. A view back 10 years ago was more of like a meaningful moment that you chose to click on something. Now.
It's just recommending things to you. And you
just different.
That's really weird. That stuff is scary to me.
Yeah.
I don't think that's good for people's brains.
I don't either, but like their brains are just wired that way. So,
but like at what cost? Like what?
I don't know. What cost for us that we played so many video games, that we watched a lot of TV? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there definitely is a cost, but like we are relatively successful. We did several things that, that's what I mean. Like, that was my deep thought. I just thought of that as that video just keeps getting more and more. I mean, every day it gets like 100,000 views. It's crazy. It's like every day and a half it might get 100,000 views. Like it's only getting more and more views as
people
time goes
just swipe, watch it, look a couple bit.
I guess, but like the video is like 59 seconds and the average watch time is like 28 seconds. So that means people are actually watching. I mean, if an Alex Jones meme pops up and you like are an Alex Jones, like you like watching these funny rants, I mean, you're gonna see and wait and see what it is, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just interesting. It was a moment of me reflecting on how my brain operates differently than like maybe the younger generation. And if that's good or bad, or if that's just something that it is.
We're going to find out.
We'll find out.
We're going to find out. Like, but I think to me, it feels bad because it's like, what next? Like,
yeah, it's Ready Player One, right?
Yeah. Like people can't ingest that much information any faster than we are now, can they? Or can they?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just get a little.
He did a lot faster than me, that's for sure. It was incredible. Crazy. And then his friends just came back to the table, and he was like, "Oh, hey," and he's just like talking like normal. I was like, "This is just a normal dude."
Maybe it's just that people can't sit quiet anymore.
Yeah, maybe so.
I'm sitting there watching Lord of the Rings, and Frodo just every time he gets nervous, he's grabbing for that ring, man.
Yeah, I know. I thought
that ring of power.
Thing. Yeah, the ring of power. The thing that we learned today is that you don't want to run into us at a grocery store. Josh recommended me he actually gifted me Slay the Spire, a game that he's always talking about.
Finally.
And so he wanted me to play it before the podcast so we could talk about what happened.
So what did you think about Slay the Spire?
I liked it was a bit hard for me to wrap my mind around.
Yeah.
I was giving it some grace, obviously, because I know this is a complicated. I could realize this was very, very complicated, but it was simple at the same time.
Right.
So I was just hovering my mouse over everything to like try and read what the different things would be. But I made it through the first thing. I beat the boss.
You beat Act 1?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Which boss did you get for Act 1?
He was like a guard. He was a guy who
he became defensive, and then yeah, cool.
So how many acts are there?
3
for each one.
Yeah, it's 3. Then you're done.
Oh my gosh!
So you made it a third of the way through the game.
But then there's another character. There's like a bunch of other.
There's 4 characters total. Yeah, so you can beat the game with all 4 of them. And each time you beat the game,
I thought I was like in the tutorial. Stage. Oh, geez.
No.
Okay.
No,
wow.
you beat a third of the game.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I felt accomplished. I was like, all right, I don't know.
Yeah. And each time you beat it, it creates a new ascension level that makes the game harder. Okay. And then you can also, there's also an Act 4 that you can do some things while you're in the Acts 1, 2, and 3 that make it a little harder for yourself, but that unlock
more
Act
cards.
4.
Oh, okay.
And that's where you can beat like the final boss. And so sometimes you can beat the game, get the new ascension level, and then you just try to beat the final boss and see if you can do it. And it's very difficult. The first time you get there, you're going to be like, this is impossible. But then you get good enough at the game that you realize, oh, you know what? If I get this card and this card, they work really well together.
That's what I was realizing. And I was trying to save I didn't even have full health when I went to the final guy.
Yeah.
But I tried to balance between I had some ridiculous attack cards and I had some ridiculous defend cards.
Yeah.
So I just tried, and then I had one that if you had all your cards as attack card, well, this is what helped me. I wouldn't have been able to do this if I didn't realize this. There was one card that said if you only had attack cards in your hand, that you could play this attack
Clash,
card for
the 0.
Yeah, and you could get like 18 attack.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize until a little later on, I was like, oh, that doesn't just mean that hand when I draw 5 cards. That means I can play a defend and still have 4 that are attack, and then that counts.
Exactly. So you play your defend cards first, your skill cards first, then you can play the clash.
Yeah, then I was like, oh, I got this. So then I won after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I saved my potions. Generally, I saved the potions until the final guy. I don't even think I used all of them.
Nice. It's so fun hearing you talk about the game. Yeah. I literally other than my children, I've had nobody to talk about this. Well, I guess Kelly at the end of the night. Yeah. At the end of the night, Kelly will be like eating after the kids go to bed, and I'm just sitting there playing Slay the Spire, just like talking to her like, oh, look at these options. look at this shop.
But yeah, for the initial run, I was happy I was able to. Like I said, the actual one, I thought that it was the tutorial, so I was like, oh, this is gonna get way harder. But if I already beat a third of the game, okay,
yeah, you did, yeah, and it gets pretty difficult.
I can imagine.
It'll be if you played a lot, it would still be a while before you beat the game one time, but. at the beginning, they don't even give you all the cards. Like you're gonna like level up a few times the more you play, and you'll unlock some new relics or cards. It's basically just giving you the easy stuff first, and then as you learn a little bit, it'll give you the cards that kind of are a little bit more complicated that you sort of would be overwhelming if you saw them for the first time you played.
So are you trying to go through all the characters and beat that, or what are you doing now?
What do I do? Well, right now I'm actually playing as the character, the Ironclad, the one with a lot of block and attack cards. I've just been playing as that one and trying to move up the ascensions. There's 20 ascensions total.
Oh, so if you beat
20 levels of difficulty.
So if you beat all the acts, you can just do it again at harder and harder.
Yeah,
and harder,
you just do it harder. So I'm up to 10 now. I actually just beat 9 last night.
Okay. So that means you've gone through it 9 times.
Yes.
That first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting game. I think that I'm going to really like that game once I can figure out the cards and all that stuff.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really fun videos on YouTube and stuff.
Okay.
People saying like, oh, and here's a good deck build. If you get this card, then next time you see this card, get that one. And it's a lot of fun.
And it seems like just a nice, normal, you're not playing online with anybody.
That's right. It's just a couple of guys built this game.
Pretty cool.
Just had a Discord community and just took all kinds of feedback for a year while the game was in beta or whatever. And yeah, I just love it. I'm glad it's fun. It's really fun talking to you about it.
Yeah.
This was worth $5 or whatever it cost me to get it.
Yeah, no, I'll play it more. And we'll talk more. But.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, I think Sarah's here. She went.
Oh, is she? Okay, great.
I don't know. Maybe she went to Chipotle to get some food.
Did she get you some food too?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, some food. Well, very good.
Hopefully, it was beef. You know, you can get beef, chicken.
Oh yeah.
You know, chicken at places freaks me out. You know, I know how they treat these animals.
Oh, I see. You have chickens yourself.
It's a lot easier to treat a chicken bad than a cow, in my estimation.
Okay.
Because
the chicken's so small.
Right, and it's like walking around and it's this far off the ground and it's dirty and walking on all this crap.
Yeah.
At least a cow is taller. I'm not saying you can't mistreat these animals. Obviously, this is rampant, but at least they're higher off the ground.
A cow can kill you.
Yeah,
if you mistreat a cow, bam!
It could kick
you in the face and you're done.
But anyway, so hopefully it was beef. I said beef, but she didn't text back. Josh, she didn't text back. And she got chicken last time.
All right.
It was a mistake. She didn't want to get the upcharge on the beef, and I said, get the upcharge on the beef next time.
Give me the beef. Give me the beef.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you. Thank you for subscribing. And like and comment, please. We'll see you later. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.